Some of you thought I was going to leave you in the dark. You obviously don't know me very well. Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a wrap up of sorts. I'm going to be sharing my favorite books of fall 2021. I recently shared news that I was not going to be doing traditional monthly wrap-ups anymore. Some of you guys did not take that news well, but you must not know me very well because I would not leave you guys hanging. Instead of monthly wrap-ups, which sometimes I can read upwards of 25 books in a month if I'm really pushing myself, I am going to do a wrap-up of my favorite books that I read each season. So no, you will not get monthly wrap-ups here on my YouTube channel. You can get that over on my Patreon. Information is linked down below for you. We're already having lots of fun over there. But I am going to do a wrap-up of my favorite books that I read each season. And isn't that what you're here for anyway, to get the books that I think you should be reading or the books that I recommend, my favorite books? So these are my favorite books from September, October, and November, and I will be doing them every quarter, so seasonally. I have 5 books to talk to you about. These are the creme de la creme, starting with Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. You guys know I have a love-hate relationship with Sally Thorne. Really enjoyed The Hating Game, hated 99% Mine, and absolutely loved this one. I read this in October, and it was probably one of my favorite books that I've read this year. It's a romance story. It's a grumpy sunshine story. It's all set at this senior retirement center. The characters, like the main characters, are amazing, but the side characters are also amazing. Everything you could possibly think that I would like in a romance was in this book. It was absolutely lovely. Fell in love with the characters, and I hope that when Sally Thorne writes another book, it's more like this. You know what I'm saying? So this one is about Ruthie working at the Providence Retirement Villa. She's worked there for years. And she actually lives like on the property, but the owner of the property's son is going to be staying there for a time as well. And it's their romance. And it's so freaking cute. It's so wholesome. Highly recommend you pick up Second First Impressions. If you were turned off by 99% Mine like I was, I think you need to read this one. I like this one better than The Hating Game. For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. This is her 3rd book. I have loved each and every one of her books, and this one is my favorite. I loved this academia setting. I loved the main character, Teddy. He's super unlikable, but that makes him such a compelling, interesting character to read from. And it's about him and these like entitled students, and he just doesn't like that they're so entitled. And the thing that I loved about this is that they're short chapters. So much is happening, but it doesn't feel like so much is happening, and you're not getting confused, or I didn't get confused. But there's all of these little surprises sprinkled throughout the story that just keeps you turning the pages to find out what is going to happen next. So if you've been hesitant about Samantha Downing, about which book you should pick up, I highly recommend this one. Like I said, it's about Teddy Crutcher. He won Teacher of the Year. He is very proud of the fact. There's deaths happening on campus, and his main objective is to push his students to their full academic potential. All he wants is for his colleagues and the endlessly meddlesome parents to stay out of his way. If not, they'll get what they deserve. Last three are really recent reads. The first one is A Season for Second Chances by Jenny Bayliss. I did an entire reading vlog talking about this book. I went in depth why I loved it. I'm here to talk to you about it again. This is, I don't know, it might make it to my best books of the year list. This is about this woman that catches her husband cheating again. So she decides to finally leave him, and she moves from the city, and like she co-owns this restaurant with her husband. She moves out of the city to this small coastal town. She's taking over a position as a winter guardian to the seaside cottage, and she makes new friends. She's kind of like rebuilding her life, and I just loved the town. I loved the cozy vibes. I loved the pacing. There was a romance, but it didn't happen until much later. So it is kind of a good balance of like character and plot, because you guys know I'm definitely like a plot driven reader rather than a character driven reader. But if you're going to give me like a deep dive into a character, don't make it like the sole focus. Like things definitely need to be happening, and in this one they definitely are. And plus the little town Willow Bay that she like takes this position at is just, I want to go there. I want to move to Willow Bay, you guys. Highly recommend this one if you're looking for a wintry read. It does, I think she moves there in September, at the end of September, and she's there like through Christmas. Heart Principle by Helen Wong, and absolutely fell in love with it. I don't think that it is my favorite of the companion series, but it's very different than the first two books in the series. The first two books in the series, they do have like own voices bits in them, but this one was much more heavy than the other two. The other two did feel more rom-com-y to me, whereas this one, I mean, this one really hits hard. There's a lot going on in this one. So I would definitely check out like my full review for like content warnings and stuff like that. I loved the main characters. I loved their love story. I thought it was funny. I thought it was sad. And I will continue to support this author and all of the books that she writes in the future, but highly recommend this. I don't think it's overhyped. Always in December by Emily Stone. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is her debut. Anyway, this book was, I don't know, I was about like maybe halfway through it, 3/4 of the way through it, and I was like 3 stars, maybe 4 stars if it's good in the end. It pulled out all of the emotion from me, and I had no idea that it was going to be like that. I was that emotionally invested in the characters and what happened and stuff like that. I think the main thing that helped me feel that way about this book, sorry, there's like a piece of hair floating in the air. The thing that really like cemented this book as a 5-star and one of my absolute favorites is I did not read the synopsis on Goodreads or the back of the book, or I didn't really know too much about this book going into it. A chance encounter during the holiday season brings 2 people together, then quickly tears them apart, but fate intervenes again and again. And it is this romantic debut. So then I skip down and it says that they meet in these different cities, that fate continues to unite them in places they'd never expect. New York City, Edinburgh, and quiet English countryside. And I didn't know anything else other than that. And I would highly encourage you not to read a synopsis. I'll give you, it's basically that. It's about these 2 characters that randomly meet. They have this connection for whatever reason. They go their separate ways, and then, you know, like a few months later they bump into each other, and then a few months later they bump into each other, and then a few months later they bump into each other. And it's just like fate is bringing them back together again and again. And you're wondering, like, are they going to end up with each other? Because when they do bump into each other, like different things are happening in their lives. And it's just very interesting to see where each person is in their life when that is happening. I will say that the majority, maybe like the first third or maybe even a little bit more of the book, is the part where they're first meeting and stuff like that, but it kind of takes a while to get there. So it is slower paced, but once you hit like a certain part where they start, you know, meeting again and again, that portion really makes it go a little bit faster because different things are happening and you're just wanting them to be together or find out if they are going to be together. But yeah, highly recommend this. So if you're looking for some book recommendations, I highly recommend these 5 books. These are my favorite books that I read this fall, and yeah, they're like my favorites, you guys. I love them so much. All of these got 5 out of 5 stars from me. So this is going to be my new wrap-up style. It will be my seasonal favorites because those are the books that I really want to talk to you guys about. If you're still interested in every single book that I read monthly, please join my Patreon, or if you can't afford that or if you're not interested in that, you can definitely check out my reviews on Goodreads and the Story Graph. Sometimes I post book reviews on Instagram as well, so follow me at Lavender Mud for that. That is linked down below, pretty sure. And yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye guys.